So in 2022, when Bryce Young got hurt, Jalen Milroe came in against South Carolina, did an okay job. Then he played against Texas A&M, fumbled twice, and threw 2 interceptions. Then in 2023, he didn't play well against Texas. He didn't play well in the first half of the Ole Miss and Tennessee games. Didn't play particularly well against Auburn except for the 4th and 31. Didn't play great against Georgia. And against Michigan, he was completely lost. Now, I've said I think Ty Simpson should start. But there seems to be a contingent of Alabama fans that are so intent on having Milroe start, almost like it's become a politicized issue, despite his failure to read defenses, go through his progressions, and get the ball to wide open receivers, which if you look at the second half of the Michigan game, he missed many of them. So I'm just wondering first, what are your thoughts about why people are so dedicated to Milroe despite his obvious flaws, which I think will ultimately hinder Alabama's chances of winning a title or even going to the playoffs?
Well, I think for anyone who is an observer of human nature and what goes on social media, both here and the zillion other locales, knows that most people form their opinion from other people's opinions. They don't think necessarily for themselves. So they don't watch, evaluate, and then make their own opinion. It's one of the big reasons why I don't listen to anybody else, because I'd like to form my own opinion. Not that there aren't very smart people smarter than me out there. So I think narratives become a thing, and then there's groupthink. And so Jalen Milroe was so bad, so rough around the edges early that, shoot, I came on here after the Texas game, was talking people off a cliff that said, Alabama's losing 5 games. They're horrible. He's horrible. I was like, calm down. They lost a 1-score game at home. They had a lead in the 4th quarter. Nick Saban will figure it out whether we see somebody else playing the position, Ty Simpson, or I'm trying to think who else was on the roster at the time, but it was basically Ty Simpson would have been the guy last season. Eli Holstein wouldn't have been a fact. Anyway, or they're going to figure out what to do with Jalen Milroe. So, of course, was it Simpson? For some reason, I think I'm forgetting somebody that played
Dylan Lonergan. Dylan Lonergan. I think
but somebody who played against must have been Simpson played against South Florida when they went down there and almost lost.
That would be Tyler Buckner.
Tyler Buckner. Of course, they had Tyler Buckner. Yeah, that's who I'm losing in my train of thought. The Notre Dame quarterback, of course, that they had for a cup of coffee that was in the mix. So they go to South Florida. Milroe's on the bench. Some people figured, okay, if he can't start against South Florida, he's done. But they were just getting his head right and figuring out what to do with him. And what to do with him was basically make him Cam Newton as a runner and then make him a one-read guy and just heave it deep. And that's what he's going to be. And then there was success. And he hit 4 or 5 throws a game that were both impressive and effective in putting points on the board. And I think people got comfortable with what that was and who he was. And the completion percentage is not that bad. I think it was about 65% last year. And so then the thought process is maybe Kalen DeBoer makes him even better. And also quarterbacks are typically better after a full off season of studying film and working on their mechanics, because once you hit the season, forget it. You just have to study game plans and work the routes and work with your teammates. And he's a proven commodity. To what degree proven? You don't rate him as highly as many others do, but at least he's a proven commodity.
That's true. I just worry that he has some inherent flaws, such as not being able to read defenses well and go through his progressions quickly enough that are not solvable. But hopefully I'm wrong.